Oh, okay. You gotta put your phone away.
You can't see it. The bottom of the chairs are not
Okay.
focused.
What's my hope?
So you have so I can start over, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So.
Cut you
Hope.
Hope.
So I think it's what you said. I think we are at like an inflection point for Detroit schools in some ways. I think a few years ago we were at our lowest, I would say, for Detroit schools. The schools have been under state control, emergency management, on and off for the better part of 15 years. We were on the verge of bankruptcy. Teachers were looking at payless paydays. Schools have been closing every year for years, year after year after year. Dozens of schools were closing every single year. And I would say, it felt like there was no hope. Detroit had posted the lowest test scores in like the history of test scores, essentially, on the NAEP.
Ever.
Yeah, no hope. And we, along with a number of other organizations, spent the past 3 years organizing, and there were a lot of things that happened, but I would say as a result of that campaign, we were able to relieve Detroit Public Schools of this massive debt that had accumulated under state control. We were able to end the emergency management that had been placed on the district and had done really a terrible job of running the schools, and to bring back an elected school board that was able to hire, for the first time in a long time, a superintendent who is an educator, has a strong education background, has worked in similar districts, has been a teacher, has been a school leader, and who is really exciting. I think our charter schools and our district schools are starting to actually talk about how to serve the city well, how to serve every child in the city well for the first time ever. There's still issues there, but they're talking for the first time ever. There's greater accountability around charters and how chartering is happening that has never existed in Michigan. I think there's a lot of ways that it could go wrong, but this is the first time in a lot of years that it has felt like it could also really go right if we do the right things right now. Like this is a moment when we can actually see real gains for kids and for families, and that's pretty exciting.
And I would add, so what hope do I have? I would add the organizing of parents, students, teachers, and residents in this city has created hope and movement forward for our schools. And that change wouldn't have happened if there wasn't an organized body of leaders across the city who were most impacted by schools, driving the conversation, driving the action. And my hope is that momentum, that body of people, that organizing continues to build and sustain this school district into better things moving forward. And we've seen it happen over the last 3 years, that we really have created a movement for hope, and that hope has translated into real policy change. And I think the hope is that we continue to build, we continue to develop the skill sets of parents, students, and teachers in the city to advocate and organize for themselves and build the school systems that they deserve.
Okay. I think we could do one last question, and it'll tie into basically what a lot of the other members have talked about. And that is, why community empowerment, and why are you focused on getting community voice heard? Or do you think that relates too much to why should parents, students, and residents have a say? You think?
Similar.
We
Yeah.
covered it.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else?
This is the last one that we asked everyone. What is something everyone should know about 4-H Forward?
It ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap. What should one thing everyone know about? It ain't cheap. It's a really good one. Revolution needs some funding.
We need you.
We need you. We need you. We need you.
We need you.
We need you. I don't know what else. That's about it. That this work wouldn't happen if we didn't have people outside of Detroit with resources believing in us and being part of our movement to shift our schools. So we need you. We need all the people who care about kids, schools, the Rust Belt, our country, to really put the resources where their mouth is, right? People always talk about wanting to be part of something, that this is an opportunity to be part of something that can transform the lives of Detroiters, but also the lives of people across this country. Give us your money.
Thank you for doing that with the pause in between, so I could easily go through
Yeah. I waited. Yeah. And we're awesome.
Good?
Good? I think it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Who knows what we said, but
I feel like you never know in interviews.
horrible.